All right, folks, by the time we get to the end of this video, I am going to impose a very important question, and I need your help answering it. So I will be reading through the comments, even though sometimes we get thousands of them. I'm going to do my best to read through them because I really want to see the answer. But before I impose the question, I need to show you a couple of videos and a couple of still shots, and then I will ask the question. But before I do, I simply want to say this before we move on. I want to say that I think it was horrible that George Floyd was killed. He should have never been killed. Okay? Make no mistake about it. It should not have happened. So keeping that in mind, I want to sort of focus my attention on a different issue. Okay? So I want to look at an example or a couple of examples of people giving a man a lot of praise who actually did not really do a whole lot for society. As a matter of fact, did nothing but divide society, especially more so in his death. But I'm not going to talk about that as much as I am going to simply say that there have been a lot of people that have given a man who was a career criminal a lot of credit for things he does not deserve credit for, and in some cases, putting him on the level of God. Now, I'll show the first video. This one is of Nancy Pelosi. She's acting just a little crazy. Weird. She says some weird things in this, but this is after the trial for George Floyd, the Derek Chauvin trial. And I want you to listen to what she says. Then I'm going to go to another video of a minister who praises George Floyd early on for passing on gospel glory or whatever it is he says. Very, very wrong. Very jumped to a lot of conclusions, but just did it because he's jumping on the whole social justice bandwagon. Now I'm going to show you a couple of still shots, and then I'm going to ask my question, all right? So let me go ahead and play this for you right here. This should be very interesting to listen to. I want you guys to take a listen to this.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice. And now we have to make sure justice prevails in the sentencing. But that's,
It's weird. She's like putting him on the same level of the Lord. The whole world is just really, really strange. But even more weird than that, here's a pastor in Southern California, y'all know who he is, who's praising George Floyd. And listen to what he has to say here. And then after that, I'm going to show a couple of still shots, and then I'm going to ask my question because I need some help.
Before I pray, I wanted to put up a picture that I saw on the internet that just really, it touched me deeply, and it saddened me deeply. And it's this picture right here of the guy in the middle with the Bible is the guy that was murdered on the streets of Minnesota. And God help us. God help us. There's an article in Christianity Today that I read that talked about the impact that George Floyd had in, I think it was Houston, on helping bring gospel hope into the community. And he went to Minnesota to work there.
Bringing gospel hope. By bringing gospel hope, do you mean carjacking or home invasion robberies or something like that? I don't know. I'm curious. That's not the question, by the way. That isn't the question, right? It's a bit of a mischaracterization. Let me just simply say that, right? But what happens? Here's the question. I'm going to just throw this out. What happens when people do things like this? They put a man like George Floyd on the level that pretty much only God should be put on, or in some cases, people who are really, truly serving the Lord. This is an interesting photo. You guys are very familiar with this. This is one of the first memorials erected for George Floyd. Very interesting. I'm not going to provide a lot of commentary on it. But this gets put up People, in essence, worship at this altar. I'm not kidding. They literally worship at this altar. They really do. I'm not exaggerating here. So let me throw this question out your way. When people worship at that altar, this is the question I want to ask, right? When people worship at that altar, and all of a sudden, this happens. Folks, for you that don't know, that's the same memorial that you were watching in this photo. It's the same exact memorial. What happens here is a lightning strike. It's a lightning strike, otherwise known as an act of God. Let me ask a legit question. I need your help with the question. Seriously. Give me an answer in the comments. Do you think that maybe God was trying to say something when he allowed that wall to be struck with lightning only to destroy the memorial portion? Just wondering. Let me know in the comments. I really want to know. God bless you.